Hello everyone, welcome to Down and Dirty. I'm Larry, and today we're going to recover a TPMS sensor from my factory Rubicon wheel. I'm going to install them in my bead locks. I'm changing tires today, and I didn't install them to start with. I installed, I believe it was like a Schrader brand. I think that's what it said on the box, but anyway, only 1 out of 5 has worked so far. So we're going to take those out. We're going to put in the factory Rubicon ones, which everybody says is the best way to go if you really want them to work all the time. So I'll show you how to remove one from the factory tire wheel assembly. I'm going to be using a Harbor Freight tire changer here that I've had for years. Used it for many things, and actually just have it mounted to kind of a wood skid so I can take it down and store it, because I actually have moved around the country with this thing. I have the adapter that goes on top for motorcycle tires and wheels, and I've used that on my motorcycle tires for years. I've done some trailer tires with this, but not an actual vehicle tire. So, okay, let's get started. Okay, I already removed the valve core from the valve stem, removed the valve cap, get your core out, let all the air bleed off. That takes a while, so I did that ahead, so we didn't have to wait for it to bleed off. Use a valve core tool here, locks into your valve core. Just take it out and leave it out till we're completely done, because next thing we're going to do is it's called breaking the bead. I'm going to push the tire off of the wheel so we can get our hand in here to get the sensor out. And while we're pushing on this tire to get it off the bead, it is going to be pushing air out of here. It's going to be breathing in and out. So you want to leave this valve core out till you're completely done, and you want to put air back in it and air the tire back up. Okay. Okay, now we have the tire free from the wheel, so we'll be able to get in here to our TPMS sensor and remove it. Okay, now next, I already have these pieces of wood that I use for doing other tires. So what we're going to do is we're going to wedge these pieces of wood in between the wheel and the tire to hold it down out of the way. So we get access to the sensor. So this right here is your TPMS sensor. It has a screw in it going up from the bottom. It's a 2mm Allen wrench. So we're going to use an Allen wrench and unscrew the sensor from the valve stem, so we can leave the valve stem in here so the wheel and tire can still be used just as it is without the sensor in it. Okay, now I took a standard 2mm Allen wrench and I cut it down so I'm not so close to the tire in between here and lengthwise, because normally they're longer both directions. I did that just to simplify getting it in here to do this. And it's a fairly long screw, so it takes a while of this half turn to get it all the way out. You can see there, I think, be able to see that it's unthreading. Still a ways to go. Okay, now I'm going to push up on it. So I want to see if we're getting close for it to come off. Still didn't come off, but it slid up. About there, it's wiggling. That's it. Yep, there we go. So there we go. There's your tire pressure monitoring system TPMS sensor. You can see there's your screw where it attaches to the valve stem. And what I did is I picked up new valve stems. So we'll put the new valve stems in the other wheels and just attach this to it. The screws in the TPMS sensors are actually T10 Torx. Reason I used an Allen wrench is because it fits in there perfectly and you can cut them down to get into tight spots. To get in there to remove them, when I put them back on with no tire in your way or anything, I always use the Torx to get them tightened up. But the Allen wrench actually fits well enough. I've never had a problem with it removing them with that cut down Allen wrench so you can get them out. Once you have it removed, just remove your pieces of wood or whatever you used, whatever you choose. And then now that we're done, we can put our valve core back in it and then put air back in it. And that's it. All right, so there you go. It's a pretty simple task. If you don't have something like I have, this Harbor Freight tire changer where it has a bead breaker on it, I have gotten away with using a bottle jack before. Put a piece of wood on your tire and your bottle jack up against the frame of your vehicle, or something heavy enough that you can push the tire off of the wheel like we did. So there are different ways of doing it, whatever you have available. Like I said, I just cut pieces of wood to block the tire away from the wheel, get your hands in there to remove it. 2mm Allen wrench, and best to cut it down if you can. If you have a way to do that, brace the wheel, and makes it a lot easier. All right, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Take care. Appreciate y'all.